Have you ever felt like your soul was screaming, but heaven stayed silent? You pray, you cry, you fast, you try to hold on to your faith, but the answer doesn't come. The comfort doesn't arrive. The peace never settles in. All you receive is silence, and that silence slowly turns into a deafening echo inside your chest. You start to wonder, has God forgotten me? Am I being punished? Did I do something wrong? The hardest part in these moments isn't even the pain itself. It's the spiritual abandonment you feel. It's looking up at the sky and feeling invisible. But here's the truth no one really talks about. God's silence isn't rejection. It's a sacred preparation for your next level. Yes, God goes quiet, but He goes quiet out of love, because there are things in you that can only be transformed in the quiet. There are wounds that only heal in the dark. There are versions of you that are only born when all you have left is the invisible presence of a God who's still right there. Today, in this devotional, you won't just understand why God goes silent. You'll be invited to see what He's forming inside of you, even when it looks like nothing is happening on the outside. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? Picture this: David, a man after God's own heart, a giant slayer, a miracle witness, anointed as king while still a shepherd, is now questioning the very God he loves. How long, Lord? This cry echoes in the hearts of thousands of believers today, and maybe it's echoing in yours too. The truth is, the walk with God has phases. There are seasons where we feel His presence in every little thing, in a sunset, in a song, in a whisper. But there are also seasons where heaven feels mute, where God seems absent. These are the hardest seasons, because they force us to confront the real motives of our faith. Am I seeking God for who He is, or for what He does for me? Is my faith anchored in truth or in comfort? That's when we realize God isn't just here to comfort us, He's here to grow us. The same Father who embraces also teaches us how to walk, and sometimes He must go silent, not to abandon us, but so we learn to walk by faith, not by feelings. Have you ever considered that God's silence is a response? We think answers are always yes, no, or wait, but sometimes the answer is, trust me. And God speaks that answer through silence. Silence that exposes the weakness of our emotional dependency. Silence that drives us deeper. Silence that strips us bare and teaches us to trust even when we can't feel. God's silence isn't punishment. It's quiet training for a faith that walks in the dark. Ever seen how top athletes train? There's no audience, no applause. Sometimes, not even light, just sweat, just repetition, just discipline. In the same way, the greatest men and women of faith were shaped in silence. Moses spent 40 years in the desert without a word from God. Joseph sat in a prison for years, seemingly forgotten. Jesus lived 30 years in silence. No public miracles, no heavenly spotlight. They were being molded in the invisible. And so are you. While you pray and hear no response, He's growing your perseverance. While you wait, He's sinking your roots deep. While it looks like nothing is happening, He's preparing everything. Life doesn't pause. The pressure doesn't ease. The world keeps spinning. And there, in the midst of outer chaos and inner silence, you feel crushed. But don't miss this. That's the perfect soil for a miracle that starts from the inside out. While no one sees it, God is realigning your affections. He's healing your deepest wounds. He's untangling the knots of your identity. You'll come out of this stronger, wiser, more like Jesus. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer, Lord my God, give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death, and my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. David started with pain and ended in praise. But look closely, there was no visible miracle in between. The only thing that changed was inside him. He chose to trust before the answer came. He chose to worship before the breakthrough. He chose to rest before the miracle. That is pure faith. Faith that doesn't rely on circumstances. Faith that doesn't need signs to keep walking. And that kind of faith is only born in silence. Starting today, may you see silence not as the end, but as the beginning of a new time being born inside you. Stop running from the silence. Enter it with courage. Talk to God slowly. Sit in the quiet with the Father who sees you, even when he doesn't answer. Silence is where prophets are born, where dreams are resurrected, where the soul learns to rest. Dear Father, today I'm not here to ask for answers. I'm here to ask for your presence, even if it's quiet, even if I can't feel it. Teach me to trust when there are no signs, to worship when I feel nothing, to walk without knowing the path, believing you're still guiding my steps, even in silence. Let my faith rise above my emotions. Let my love for you be deeper than rewards. Let my devotion be unshaken, even in the desert. Make your silence a sanctuary. Turn my room into a meeting place, even without words. And if I don't hear you today, may I never doubt you walk with me every day. Amen. Silence hurts. I know, but it's teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. You are not forgotten. You are being shaped. But what happens when God finally speaks again? How can you tell it's really him, and not just your own heart talking? How do you recognize God's voice over your emotions? That's the next topic in Daily Devotional 11. If today's word touched your heart, drop a comment below. Has God's silence ever shaped you? What did you learn in that season? Share this video with someone going through a silent valley. Sometimes, what they need most is someone who helps them hear God in the silence.